My name is Sherry Swift, and I am a performance coach, a leadership coach, and every day for over 20 years, I've had the absolute pleasure of helping people unlock their next level of greatness. So let's, you and I, unlock some things together today. Today, let's talk a little bit about why you're not getting the right results with your database lead generation. Let's talk about your database lead generation. So, first of all, let's talk about your database. You hear it so often in our industry. You have to build a database. Your database is your business. If you sit down with the coach, the very first question that the coach is going to ask you if they're any good is, where is your database? How do you keep up with your database? How often are you communicating with your database? So what we know at a pretty early stage in our relationship with real estate is that a database is a non-negotiable. What we also know is that if you build a healthy database, you should be able to lead generate in your database and receive sustainable and projectable results on a pretty consistent basis. If you're not receiving sustainable and projectable results from your database lead generation, let's talk a little bit about why that might not be happening. So the number one reason why you're really not receiving those results is that you're believing that willpower is all it takes. Like you're like, well, if I've got the willpower and if I'm willing to do the work, that's really all it takes. When the exact opposite is 100% true. If you really want to build a database that supports your business, you've got to get into a relationship with the people that are inside of the database. It's not enough to say, I'm going to throw all these people in here, and as long as I throw all these people in here, and I'm going to separate them and categorize them, and it's going to look beautiful, and maybe I'm even going to put people on a drip campaign in KV Core. But if you're not really willing to commit to building relationships with the people that are inside of your database, you are missing the primary database opportunity. Understand that if people are in your database, it is probably because they've had some opportunity to have a connection with you. They either know you in this way or that way, from this world to another world. They are connected to you in some way. It is your job, your whole job in your database to bring those people in a little closer, a little closer, a little closer to you. And the only way to do that is take responsibility for the relationships. So it's not enough to just build it. So for those of you who say, I did it. I hear you guys talking about database all the time. I did it. I went to KV Core. I dumped all my people in and nothing happened. I put all my people in and nothing happened. There is no magic pill. Nothing's going to happen just because you put all these people in. The real question is, did you take responsibility for the relationship that you need to build? And are you bringing those people in closer and closer every time you speak with them? That's the key to building that successful database lead generation opportunities. Number two, you can't wait for the perfect excuse or reason to connect with the people that are in your database. I think I'm talking to somebody out here. I think there's someone who knows exactly what I'm saying. They might feel a little bit convicted here. You know, it looks a little something like this. Oh my God, it's time to call Sherry Swift. I haven't talked to Sherry in 10 years. Oh my goodness. What am I going to say? If I call Sherry now, what's the reason to call Sherry? I don't really have a good reason. I need an excuse to call Sherry. It's been so long. I'm just not going to call her. I feel really bad about it. You know, the number one mistake that we all make is that people are sitting around thinking about when was the last time that we reached out to them. They are not. That is ridiculous. People have their own whole lives that they are living. They are not thinking about when the last time was that you reached out to them. But every single solitary day that you don't pick up the phone and reach out and create those relationships and bring those people in closer and check on those people and ask those people what they need from you, that is the reason why your database lead generation is ineffective. You have to make it a point to reach to those people who you have not talked to in forever. The script might sound a little something like this. Hey, Tatiana, this is Sherry Swift calling. Oh my goodness, it has been such a long time since we've had an opportunity to chat. I miss talking to you, man. How is everything? How is everybody in your surrounding? I'm really excited to catch up on a personal level. We'll have to schedule a little bit of time to do that. But today, Tatiana, I'm calling you because we are heading into a very aggressive spring and summer season. And I just don't want you to forget that I am here as a resource for you. I want you to know that if there's anything real estate related that's happening around your world with you, your friends, or your family, that I feel responsible for you. And I can't wait to help you through the process. The time has never been more important to have somebody that you know you can depend on in this world that we are operating in today. So Tatiana, if you need anything at all, do you promise me that you'll give me a call and that you'll reach to me? And if I mail you a few of my cards, would you do me a favor and promise me that you're going to share them with people that you know that you feel responsible for? I promise you I'll take good care of them. Can you make 20 calls today to people that you have not talked to in quite some time and use that script? Can you make 20 calls today and reach to people that you haven't talked to in a long time and acknowledge that you haven't spoken with them, but then take them into solution and let them know that you feel responsible for them? What we're talking about here today is why your database lead generation may not be effective for you, and that it's not enough to just throw all your contacts into your database and hope that it creates some kind of magic pill effect for you. And then reason number 3 is you're not really clear on the calls about your end goal, right? You're not really clear when you're making your calls about what your end goal is. Not with the people that you're talking to, with yourself. So here we go. We get on the phone. We got 40 calls we're going to make. By the way, 40 is a really low number. But we've got 40 calls that we're going to make. And we sit down and we make these 40 calls. And if in your brain you are programmed to think, I got to get a listing appointment. I need to get a buyer today. I got to get a buyer or a listing appointment today. If you are programmed to identify that as success, you are never going to really understand the real effectiveness of database lead generation. Database lead generation is effective if you have communicated with someone that you're in relationship with and you've had the opportunity to remind them what you do. Because what you have to remember is that everybody that you know knows 8 people that are going to buy or sell real estate in the next calendar year. If you remind someone what you do, then they are then responsible for telling all of the people that they are surrounded by that you do this and that you feel responsible for them and all of your people. You won if they listened. You won if you mailed them a card. You won if you followed up with a digital card that you sent them via text. You won if they said, sure, I'm excited. Every win is not a result of a listing presentation or a buyer appointment. That is not the only way that you can measure the win. We have to remember that our win is through collecting people. We collect people for a living. And as a result of collecting lots and lots of people, we have the opportunity to sell lots and lots of homes. The biggest mistake that I see most realtors make is they measure their success through appointment schedule. And when the appointment scheduling is low for the day, they feel like a failure. So then they take that failure and they say, well, this must not be working. And they stop. And what they don't realize is that there was no obvious win today through an appointment. But what you don't know is that the seeds that you planted today are going to eventually harvest. But you have to have the consistency and the faith to continue to plant seeds in order to get the outcome that you're hoping for. Your database is 100% your greatest opportunity for lead generation. It is the most sustainable opportunity, and it is the most projectable opportunity. It is the most sustainable, and it is the most projectable. So I want you to commit to building deeper relationships with the people that are inside of your database. Commit to putting on a different level of intention and patience within yourself so that you're not just impatiently approaching this habit, looking for something every single time you enter into the opportunity. Like, I'm going to do it, I want something. I'm going to do it, I want something. Well, if that's the way you're approaching this, you're not going to win. But if you approach lead generation within your database through consistency, relationship building, not getting in your own head about when it's appropriate to reach the people, taking responsibility for your people, and then most importantly, counting every connection as a win, not every appointment as a win, then you are going to find that within a very short amount of time, your database is presenting and producing exactly what you had hoped for. Listen, wherever you are in the world or in the week, know that I am here as a resource for you. Our wonderful partnerships at eXp University are here as a resource for you. Keep coming back to places like this to get something that you need. The beauty of who we are is that we've got so many different voices and choices for you to plug into and get what you need, and different sounds that resonate with different people. So find what you need so that you can find success in this season that's coming forward. Please make sure that you connect with me in all of my places. Make sure that you follow me on the workplace. Let's connect there. Make sure that you find me on IG at the Sherry Swift, THEE Sherry Swift. And then most importantly, let's connect on my YouTube channel and make sure that you subscribe and follow, because I'm sharing lots of deliciousness here as well. Make it a fantastic week and get in that database, but don't get in there with impatience. Get in there with intention and consistency. Make it a great day.